Yo, 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 yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn show, man. Today is March. New year. Not a new year, new month, though. March 1st, 2026, man. We got tons of NBA action on the board for today. I know it's been a while since I've actually gone live, but I figured, why not go live on a Sunday? I think it's 11 game slate, 12 game slate for today. So there's tons of action on the board for today. I'm going to run you guys through what my research shows that we should bet for today. So real quick, before I get started, just a real quick recap of the last few days. So yesterday, Lakers was the big play for me yesterday. They ended up winning a game. Nice bounce back spot against Golden State. Utah first quarter. I liked Utah. They didn't cover the first quarter, ended up losing to the Pelicans last night. But I liked the first quarter just because it was one of those back-and-back sets. Utah had Keontae George ruled in. DeJounte Murray was ruled out. I thought it was a nice spot. I haven't bet on Utah a lot, especially recently, but that was not a winner. I took Friday off, and then Thursday we had Miami +2, and that was the game that Norman Powell got hurt. Miami not playing a lot of defense at all, and they came back, had a 1-point lead with 2 minutes left, and then lost the game on a 7-0 run. So I haven't been too great as of late, but we did finish the month of February profitable. We finished the month with a little bit of profit in February, and March is probably going to be geared for a much better month, in my opinion. So hopefully you guys have been able to find some ways to make some cash, man. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. What up, Peasy? Appreciate you for tapping in. What's up, Prolific? Says Chris be missing. Good morning, my boy. Been smacking it in college basketball. Love to see that. Love to see that, man. Life just been lifing, man. It's been it hasn't been bad. It's just my son. He involved in a lot of stuff now. So, I prioritize being a son over being a content creator. I'm still gonna always send plays out to the members. I'm still gonna always, do my due diligence and look through the slate in a very meticulous manner. So the plays will always be there. I may not be able to do shows as frequently as I used to, though. Just being completely honest with you guys, just because things have kind of picked up a lot recently. What's up, Algina? Appreciate you for tapping in. PYG says top of the morning. Just what I needed. Cards are hard today. We're gonna talk about it. Martez says Victor Wembanyama and Jalen Johnson, Jalen Duren, Donovan Clingan, all for double doubles. Okay. I don't know. We shall see. Let's get into it for today. So we'll start with Jackson. AI Sports Betting 2, linked in the description as it always is. I asked Jackson. I've been switching the prompt up. This prompt actually been cashing a little bit too. So the prompt for today was I asked Jackson to identify the top 3 ATS edges by comparing the Jackson odds and projected margins to the current odds. So the first one Jackson likes is actually an ugly one. It's on the Dallas Mavericks plus the 15.5. It says that the sportsbook spread is minus 15.5, but the Jackson projected margin is Thunder OKC minus 5.5. So it's a 10-point edge here, is what Jackson is saying. It says this is the largest edge on the board by a significant margin. They're likely reacting to the Mavs' depleted roster. Dallas is confirmed to be without Kyrie Irving, Derek Lively, and Cooper Flagg, while PJ Washington is listed as doubtful. However, the Oklahoma City Thunder are dealing with rotation thinning as Jalen Williams and AJ Mitchell are both still sidelined. While OKC boasts the league leading plus 11.1 net rating and number 1 defensive rating of 106.3, the possession math suggests 16 points is an immense mountain to climb on the road. Dallas still possesses offensive spark in Najee Marshall, who's coming off a 36-point, 10 rebound performance, and Max Christie, 13.2 points. My projection indicates that OKC is a superior team. The Mavericks' home court familiarity and the Thunder's potential fatigue after an emotional overtime win against Denver on Friday will allow Dallas to keep this within the single digits or low double-digit margin. So the first one, ugly dog. And this just made me think. I'm curious to know real quick. Teams coming off an overtime game that are laying 15 points or more. I'm just curious to know what that number is. It only happened twice. It's only happened twice, it looks like, and it's 2-0 to the over. Hold on, I did that wrong. Hold on, my fault. All right, never mind. It's happened 18 times. So teams coming off an overtime game laying 15 points, 16-2 straight up, 11-7 against the number. They win by about 16 points per game. 1-0 this season, 11-7 to the over. I had some stuff on the over as well. I wonder if they are on the road. I'm just curious. 1-0 straight up, 0-1 against the number. It's only happened once, and it was the Thunder against the Nets. They were laying 17. They won the game by 8, 129-121. Says take the mess. Okay. All right. That's the first one. The second one I give you guys is on so same prompt. If you guys join late, it's identify the top 3 edges by comparing your projected margins to the current odds. And Jackson likes the Dallas Mavericks plus the 15.5. It also likes the Kings plus the 13 as well. It says that the sportsbook projection is minus 12.5, minus 13, but the Jackson projection is minus 7. It says the market is heavily favoring the Lakers following the 129 to 101 demolition of the Warriors, but that line was inflated beyond the statistical reality of the matchup. Sacramento is currently the worst team in the NBA by record, 14-47, and missing Keegan Murray, Domantas Sabonis, Zach LaVine to season into injuries. However, the Lakers defense remains vulnerable, ranking 23rd in the league, 116.6 defensive rating. The Kings have actually covered the spread in 2 of their last 3 meetings against the Lakers, while Luka Doncic 32.6 points and Austin Reeves 24.4 provides the lead scoring. The Lakers often play down to their competition or take their foot off the gas in the fourth quarter of projected blowouts. Sacramento's pace 17th, and the Lakers' tendency to play in a half court 20th in pace suggests fewer possessions, which mathematically favors the underdog covering the spread. So those are 2 looks today for you guys. The 2 dogs too, two big dogs. Dallas plus the 15.5, Sacramento plus the 13. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I did see this. I see PYG mentioned Najee's questionable. Yeah, you definitely don't want him if Najee's not going to play. We shall see though. All right, let's jump into it, man. Let's get into it. So, a couple games I want to go through. It's actually a couple games I haven't even been through. It's a humongous slate. I was trying to weed it out. I got some systems active on a couple things, but I'm gonna tell you guys what I would bet in every single game on the board for today, and then I'm gonna get ready to get up out of here. So first one is San Antonio in New York, right? Open with San Antonio laying 1.5 yesterday is what I saw. Saw this last night. They were laying 1.5. Let me get to my notes real quick. All right. So San Antonio was laying 1.5. Total was at 228.5. So we've seen a little bit of money coming in on the under and a little bit of money coming in on the New York Knicks. This is actually shift to a pick now. And let me just double check it real quick. Injury report is always janky, as we know, especially on the weekends. Let me just double check and make sure that we have the most updated injury report. And I'll share that with you guys. So yeah, for the San Antonio Spurs, just Mason Plumlee and then Deuce McBride. For the New York Knicks are out. So, and this is a 1:00 start time game, of course, as well, right? This is a nationally televised game, all that good stuff. Spurs have been really good, both straight up and against the spread on the road. 7-2-1 against the spread in their last 10 games. This is their 4th straight road game, and they've won 10 straight. The New York Knicks on the other side, both really good, both straight up and ATS at home. But they're only 4-6 against the spread at home. So if you ask yourself who's been playing, the much better basketball as of late, that would be San Antonio. But the line is getting shorter, and it's starting to favor the Knicks. And I agree with the movement there. Really kind of just wanted to wait to see where the line would go in this one. But +2, I think it's a good bet, man. I also think that because San Antonio has been the better has been the better team early in games, like San Antonio is the best team in the NBA in the first quarter. It's not even close. If you go look at net ratings for full season, last 15 games, last 10 games, last 5 games, San Antonio is great. Like they typically have the best offensive rating in the first quarter. They just start the game off really, really good. That's just what they do. Because of that, I think that you may be able to get a better number live with the New York Knicks in this game. Because I do expect San Antonio to come out and throw the first punch. That's typically just what they do. They did win the earlier matchup as well. It was 134-132. It's 3.5-point favorites back on New Year's Eve. They played on December the 31st. That game went far over the 235.5. But Josh Hart and Mitchell Robinson did not play in that game. So as far as systems that I had on the game, I had a couple systems. I had 3 systems on the under. One of them was just looking at teams that are coming off a win where they won by 25 points and then a dog. We know the Knicks actually mollywopped the Milwaukee Bucks in that last game. that trend is 54% to the under. It's 65% to the under this season. Then I had another trend on teams that were at least on a 5-game winning streak, but then they only land 3 points less, and they have more rest than their opponent. That's a 55% trend to the under as well. And then I looked at the last one that came up was teams that hit 23s or more, and then they're dogging the next game. And of course, the Knicks hit 23s against the Bucks in that last game. That's a 55% trend over the course of the database, and 64% to the under this season. So my notes tell me to take the Knicks and take the under in this spot. I also looked at teams that were teams that were short favorites after winning 10 straight games. That also says to take the Knicks in this spot. Spurs only laying a point and a half after winning 10 straight games. It's a little janky in my opinion. I do feel like the Spurs have been playing better basketball. I just think you're going to get the best effort from the Knicks based on just the psychology of this line, if I'm being completely honest. I looked at the Knicks as home dogs. They've only been a home dog once this season. They did beat the Cavs by 7 in that spot. They covered the number as well. The only thing that kept me off, and I should probably bring these up so you guys can see them. Like, I'll bring a couple of them up so you guys can see what they look like. Let's see. I'll bring a couple of these systems up that I just talked about, but I can't do this for every single game just because it's way too many games. I'd be on here for way too long, but I do want to pull some of these up so you guys can see them. All right. So first one I looked at, I'll start. Let's go backwards real quick. So if we look at, just copy and paste this real quick. If we look at this one system it's a super small sample. You guys can see right here, just 3 and 7 straight up, 3 and 7 against the spread. And what this query says is two good teams, right? So 55% win percentage or better. We know the Spurs and the Knicks are. The game is starting early, so it's starting before 3 o'clock. You got a home dog. It's a non-conference game, and it's in the regular season. And you can see that these dogs typically don't do well. These early home dogs typically don't do well, right? They have been going over though. You can see this dates back to 2020, 4-0 to the over in this spot. So not a lot of defense being played in this spot specifically. And this one does not favor the Knicks. The one that I had on the Knicks was outside of them being, a home dog. This is a super small sample, but them being a home dog once is this one, right? So this is teams that have won 10 straight games. They're road favorite and they land, a small number less than 3. And you can see this active on the Knicks and the Spurs down here at the bottom. Not a profitable look, right? So these teams are covering just 36% of the time. This favors the Knicks. Says to take the Knicks. Short road favorites won 10 straight games, and now they're only laying 3 points or less. Favors the New York Knickerbockers. Total, you can see sitting at 18 and 18. Not going to bring up all of the trends for the under, but that's my thought process on this first one, is to take the Knicks plus I think you can still get a 1.5, and take the Knicks plus the 1.5 and take the under. I don't know if I really want to get there with an under though. Maybe a live under is something that I could be interested in. The other thing I wanted to talk about real quick, because the Knicks offense is so good, not great, but because the Spurs offense is so good, and I do think that this game's going to be played fast because the Spurs games typically just are played fast early in games. I like the first quarter over. It's not going to be like something that a lot of people going to look at, but now that we started to get enough data on these teams, I will be playing some more first quarters and first halves. It's actually one of the two looks that I like today as far as first quarter, first half. Knicks and Spurs over the first quarter total at 57.5. I do think that both of these teams will be able to score the basketball, and I think we'll see pace. I think the Knicks games typically slow down after the first quarter. So I'm expecting both of these teams to, throw some punches early. And I just think that there's going to be pace. So I do like first quarter over. 58.5, I think, is available in a couple books. 57.5 was available early this morning. That's my thought process on this one. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. Flazy says Jared Allen over is 30.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Okay. Let's see. Knicks money line for Peasy. I like it. Prolific says, isn't it a flash spot for the Knicks? So this is their first home game off a 3-game road trip. They only 2 and 7 against spread in their last 7. But I kind of feel like with all hands on deck, I kind of feel like the Knicks can get the job done. like I still view the Knicks as the best team in the Eastern Conference. I know, there's some rumblings of the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Detroit Pistons. Maybe Detroit is better than them, but we'll see what happens in the playoffs. Like you're gonna have to get a locked in Knicks team, of course. Cat gonna have to, actually go out there and actually do something. OG Anunoby not gonna be able to have one of those games where he got 8 points. Mikal Bridges not gonna be able to shoot that flick that fadeaway when he can get all the way to the rim and shoot some shots. And Jalen Brunson is gonna have to be Jalen Brunson in my opinion. But I think Knicks today. I do like the Knicks. One that says Spurs Knicks is a pick now. Yeah, it is a pick now. I did see that. You still can get the lines on both teams as favorites though. Just got to shop around. Let's see. PYG says San Antonio 38-21 on the first quarter this season. Yeah, they've been really, really good, man. Mike says I would play Knicks. But I would play the +1.5, which is still available on Bet MGM right now. You can still get a +1.5 with the Knicks. And the total is coming down. I agree with the total coming down, but like I said, I like first quarter over. I did bet the first quarter over as well. 58.5 on Bet365. I think we see points early. All right, so that's my thought process there. Nick says Knicks money line. Spurs win. Streak ends today. Yeah, I agree with that. I do agree with that. All right, cool. Let's go to the next game. I didn't really look too deeply in the player props in that one. Next one up is Cleveland in the Brooklyn Nets, right? Ugly game. Gross injury report. I still spent some time on it, so I want to share with you guys what I came up with. All right, so as far as injury report goes, we do got James Harden listed as questionable. Keon Ellis listed as questionable. Donovan Mitchell remains out with the groin injury, and then Dean Wade is also out. Max Strus, of course, not in. And then on the Brooklyn side of things, Igor is out, and Nick Claxton is listed as questionable in this game. So this was a game that, like, I was looking at it at first, and I was like, I'm not gonna play this game. But then I do my due diligence pretty much on every single game. You got a Cleveland team coming off the back-to-back losses to the Milwaukee Bucks and the Detroit Pistons. They are coming off an overtime game. They've lost 3 of their last 4, and they play at home versus Detroit in the next game. Key point, in my opinion, based on when you kind of handicapping this game, is that they got Detroit up next. They played 7 of their last 10 on the road, and this is the last of a 3-game road trip. So Cleveland in a spot where they could potentially run out of gas. Cleveland in a spot where it's not favorable based on the situational stuff, especially with the Pistons up next. You just lost to the Pistons in that most recent game. So not a spot where I really want to lay too many points with the Cleveland Cavaliers, especially without, they could be potentially without James Harden. However, the Brooklyn Nets have lost 7 straight. I religiously have come on here and said that they're not a real NBA team. They've lost 7 straight. They've covered 0 of the 7, 3 straight overs, and they're 7-3 to the over in their last 10 games. So if I'm betting the game, I'm betting the over, right? I got a system that's active on Brooklyn. But if I'm betting, I got another system that's active on Cleveland in the Brooklyn Nets to go over, and that's what I like. I looked at home dogs, double-digit home dogs with a total that's less than 225 since 2020. So I'm sorry, since 2021. And after the All-Star break, 59% to the over. If Harden gets ruled out, this total's going to drop even more, in my opinion. Excuse me. And then you take the over. And if I'm thinking about the game, right, like I do think that Harden's not going to play. Why would Harden play in this game against Brooklyn? Maybe to tune up against Detroit for the Detroit game. I kind of think that they can beat Brooklyn without James Harden. I mean, I know that they can beat Brooklyn without James Harden. But I think that, Harden gets ruled out. This line comes down to where it opened at 221.5, 220, and then you take it over. This Brooklyn Nets defense has been so bad. Like, they're the worst defense in the NBA. They just gave up 65% shooting from the three-point line. I'm not even sure how a team can shoot 65% from the three-point line. But Boston scored 148 in that last game. Both of these teams have been playing pretty slow, but it's a pretty low total. I think Brooklyn, their offense has looked a little bit better since Michael Porter Jr. They scored against against Boston that last game. I think they should be able to score against Cleveland as well. I like this one over. Over 222.5. Just waiting on the James Harden news. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. What's up, Library? Appreciate you for tapping in. PYG says, not gonna lie, I like Brooklyn +12 here. Well, I could not take Brooklyn. I guess it's my preferred side. I don't think I can pull the trigger though. Brooklyn has been that bad recently. Like they're minus 19.3 in efficiency differential in their last 5 games, which is the worst in the NBA. They got a defensive rating of 129.1, which is the worst in the NBA. These are all last 5 game numbers. They're giving up 123.4 points, and they're 25th in offensive efficiency as well. And this has been against the 4th strongest strength of schedule. Cleveland to be laying this many points on the road is gross, especially without all of their key guys. But I mean, I think they can absolutely mollywop this team, especially if Claxton doesn't play. I think that's more off. I think there's less defense as well. Cleveland should be able to score at will in this game. They are 5th in offensive rating. The Cleveland Cavaliers are 119.7 in offensive efficiency over their last 5 games. And you get a Brooklyn defense that's just been absolutely bleeding points. Scoring whatever it is that they're just giving up points. Like, you get some points and you get some points. So Cleveland team total might not be a bad look either, specifically first half. I don't know. I don't want nothing to do with Brooklyn right now, unless I'm taking them over. Cleveland team totals 117.5. I think they should be able to get there too. Smoke says, question, Chris, do you think Brunson first quarter points is good versus the Spurs? Just want your opinion. Yeah, I was looking at that, Smoke. I think I looked back at Brunson earlier. When I was looking at player props this morning, I was looking at Brunson in games where they're like a dog. He's typically played well. The other thing about this matchup specifically, Brunson gets a ton of his points from pull-up, right? And the one thing about the Spurs defense, they're a great defense, top 5 defense in the NBA, but they do not do good against the pull-up. They're actually the worst team in the NBA against the pull-up, and Brunson gets 30% of his points via pull-up. So Brunson threes, Brunson points, especially early, I think are live in this spot for sure. I do think that. Because Brunson been pulling up for sure. I don't know if you guys remember, but 2 games ago, I said I like Brunson to hit 3 threes. He was sitting at 2.5. I think his line was minus 105, 104. It was like not a lot of juice at all against Cleveland. And he hit 3 of his 7. And then the next game against the Bucks, he hit 4 or 6. So his 3-point shooting has come back a little bit. And he gets a really good defense in this spot as far as being able to pull up. He does get a lot of his points in transition. The Spurs do a pretty good job of getting back. So Prolific says Nets early. I don't want the Nets early, late, middle of the game. None of it at all. What's up, Tony? Appreciate you for tapping in. What's up, Adam? He says, look at Terrence Mann threes. He's been chucking. You got to. Why not, right? Jaden says you like Wemby to have a big game. Man, I think they're gonna be super physical with Wemby. It's gonna be based on if the ref call it or not, because I see 2 versions of like a Wemby game, right? So first one is like if Wemby, if Cat is out there doing the the janky stuff that he be doing where he getting 2 fouls in the first quarter, I think it's gonna be hard for for the Knicks to slow Wemby down, because you can't put Mitchell Robinson on him. Like that ain't gonna work. And nobody else, in my opinion, has the quickness or the size outside of Wemby. Like Josh Hart's like 6'2". Like that's not gonna work. He might be stronger than Wemby, but Wemby can shoot right over the top of him. So if Carthy Towns can stay in the game, if he's locked in and just paying attention to detail and that type of thing, then I think they can make it hard on Wemby. But Wemby lives for these moments too, though. Like it wouldn't surprise me if it's a big Devin Vassell game, right? Like we know the Knicks, at their core, they're not a good 3-point defense. So wouldn't surprise me if they're able to knock down some threes. The Spurs are going to try to live at the 3-point line as well. So Wemby could definitely have a big game. I don't know. I'd rather play the side. People just say he cashed on those 3-pointers. I'm glad you cashed. I didn't even bet it. But yeah, Brunson's been hooping lately. All right, do me a favor. Hit the like button if you can. Subscribe to the channel if you guys have not already, especially if you find the information valuable, helpful for your own research, and let's keep going. Another game I want to talk about is another early game, which is the Timberwolves and the Denver Nuggets. So line this one last night was at 1.5 or 1, I think it was. It's quickly moved to Denver -3 now. The total, I think, has only gone up. This was 238.5 last night. It's up to 240.5. Spread is, I do see a 3.5 popping up now on ESPN Bet. So Denver taking a lot of money in this spot. If you look at the injury report, I did see that Minnesota had Julius Randle listed as questionable on the injury report. And on the Denver side of things, Cam Johnson is probable, Spencer Jones is questionable, Aaron Gordon is out, and no Peyton Watson either. So Minnesota has been janky as well, right? They are 12-17 against the spread on the road, just 2-8 against the spread in their last 10 games, only 2-5 straight up, but 4-3 against the spread as road dogs this season. So they have been profitable covering, but they have not won a lot of those games. Just 2-5 straight up. Like I said, when they're road dogs. This is their third straight road game as well. And, just haven't really been covering. Denver has been a profitable team. I didn't write the number down, but they've been profitable at home coming off a loss. We saw them lose against the Golden State Warriors. They come home. They absolutely blast the Boston Celtics. And now, of course, in their most recent game, they just lost to the Oklahoma City Thunder by 6, I think, 6 or 7. I think it was 6. And then they're back home playing the divisional rival, Minnesota Timberwolves. And they've been good against this Minnesota team all season. They've actually won all 3 games. So you can say Minnesota has triple revenge. Denver's covered all 3 as well. Denver has been profitable. I said that already. They've been profitable at home off a loss. 7-3 to the over in their last 10 games. This is the first leg of a back-to-back. They got the Jazz tomorrow, which I don't think that really means anything. Couple different systems I had in place on this game. A lot of them, more of them, have actually been on the under. But then I got a couple, like a big one that's on Denver as well. So I'll share one of these with you guys real quick. So let me see. Rather than just reading it all, so you guys can see it as well. All right, so this is let's see if I can get it pulled up. All right, so this one right here actually favors Denver minus the 3. So this system is on so all those letters right there just mean that a team that's won 5 of their last 6 games and net their road dogs in the divisional game in the regular season after the All-Star break, because we know after the All-Star break means a little bit more, right? So after the All-Star break, divisional game, regular season, road dog that has won 5 of their last 6, says that they don't cover in this spot. We can see that it is active today. Timberwolves should lose this game. Without Julius Randle, I do think that that's going to hurt their offense as well. Don't really want to trust Minnesota right now, man. Just 2-8 against the spread in their last 10 games. They have been, pretty good as road dogs. I mentioned that 4-3 against the number, but it's been really difficult for them to beat, this Denver Nuggets team. Like I said, they've lost all 3 games. I think you get a motivated Denver team coming off the loss against the Oklahoma City Thunder. But like I said, I think the thing that makes the most sense to me was under, right? So real quick, I'm gonna show you guys one more system, and you can see that this is profitable for the under as well. This is about 59.6%, right? All time here. So I like under in this spot. I know that it's not favorable because Denver's been playing super fast, but their defense has actually picked up in their last few games. I think we kind of continue to see them play some defense. So this system here, right, says that you're playing. So it says it's a short home favorite laying 3 or less, regular season game that's won all 3 games, right? So this is a triple. I've won 3 games, right? So the other team has triple revenge, and I'm a home favorite, and I'm only laying 3. This one is 61% to the under, or 60.6%, whatever you want to say. 60.6%. You can see that it is. Well, it was active. I think the line just went to 3.5. Let me just change this to 3.5. Yeah, there you go. So it's still 57% to the under, even if you change the line. I'm interested to know if it's a divisional game. Divisional games, teams know each other. Yeah, you can still see 60% to the under as well. But if we go back to the base of this trend, right, this one right here, it also says that it's really, and you probably heard this before, it's really hard to beat a team 4 times, right? And this is, you can see here, this is actually active on Minnesota in this spot. So teams that have won 3 straight games within the same season against the same opponent during the regular season that's only laying 3 points in their next game, 3 points or less, only 13 to 21 straight up, 38%. ATS wise, only covering 35% of the time. This is active on Minnesota today. You can see here, only 40%. Even if we change it to 3.5, only 40%, right? You can see Minnesota and Denver right here, right? So, yeah, system that backs the Nuggets. I'm sorry, that backs the Timberwolves and also backs the under. I like the under a little bit more than the side in this one. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. Get back to my regular screen. Let's see. Zato says, I think Wemby goes under his rebounds. He has a cat to compete with, even if he's a alien cat top in the league and rebounds. Yeah. If you think that they're going to play with effort today, I think that, Wemby under his boards, in my opinion, makes sense. I know he's like 30 feet tall, but like that makes sense in my opinion. His points listed at 24.5. Wemby rebounds is 11.5. He has gone under in back-to-back games against Toronto and against Brooklyn. And we know that the Knicks are one of the better rebounding teams in the NBA. They're actually fifth in the rebounding. Yeah, I think I would agree. I think I would go under on Wemby boards as well. 11.5 is -1. Looks like -117, -114 on DraftKings. I kind of like that. I'm gonna write that down. Wemby under 11.5 boards. I'm looking at his numbers right now. Wemby is he's actually under his boards, and he's averaging 9.8 in road games versus teams that are top 10 in rebounds allowed. So he's only hit this number 3 of his 10 games. I like this one. Good call out here. I like that a lot. Adam says, how about Joker to hit a 3 today? Rudy keeps him out of the paint and doesn't guard him on the perimeter. He typically hits 3 or 4. Yeah, I couldn't talk you off of that, Adam. That's the cap right there. You're right. Smoke like Jokic double-double. Lightbearer says, Chris, what do you think about Miles Turner and Bobby Portis both to score 10 points each against the Bulls? I love it. I love it. Let's see. What else should I say here? Sato says, I like betting the Nuggets at home, but I need Gordon in there. I'll take the Wolves in this spot. Okay. Let's see. Up One Money says Minnesota money line, Spurs money line, Portland points. Okay. He says keep the points. Wolves money line. This is what they do. Yeah, they have been good in this spot. Can't argue that. Recently they've been pretty bad though, and I would want Julius Randle confirmed in before I pull the trigger on that one. Timberwolves play down to competition, but they typically play well when they're getting points. Just as a dog this season, real quick. Let me just look at it real quick. They haven't beat this team though. They have not beat this team. They're 4-7 straight up as a dog, 6-5 against the numbers. So 55% ATS, lose by average of 2 points. Back-to-back wins against the Thunder and the Spurs in this spot. Well, back-to-back covers against the Thunder and the Spurs. They lost to the Spurs, but did cover. They were getting 5 in that spot back on January the 17th. Covered 3 of the last 4. They are 7-4 to the over as well. So you don't really like to see that. Nuggets -3, early start. They at the crib. 77 figure says. No Wemby double-double. Take Cat instead for double-double. Yeah, I don't want Wemby double-double in this spot. Didn't the Wolves own the Nuggets last year? They did. How the tides have turned, Adam says. What's up, Saturated? All right, cool. Let's keep going. All right, next game up is hold on. You know what? I think did I skip one? I think I skipped one. Oh yeah, y'all might not want to talk about this one, but we're gonna talk about it anyway because I did go through it. I did cap it. So Milwaukee and Chicago, right? Line opened yesterday with Milwaukee laying 4 points on the road as a favorite. Lines come down to 3 now. And if you look at the injury report, we have let me just make sure I got it right. So Giannis, of course, is out. Torian Prince is out. Chicago got Patrick Williams out. Jalen Smith, Anthony Simons, Jaden Ivey, Zach Collins, all are out for this game. So I'm going through this one, and I'm thinking to myself, well, first thing that sticks out to me is I don't want Milwaukee as a favorite, right? The Bucks have been god-awful on the road, god-awful laying points on the road. Road favorites this season, just 3 against the number. They win by an average of 2 points, right? back-to-back non-covers. They lost to the Nuggets. They were laying points. And then they lost to the Wizards. They were laying points and got absolutely demolished. Lost that game by 10 points, right? And then I'm thinking, well, Milwaukee's offense has been really, really good, right? And they've been trending in the, in the right direction. They're 7-3 against the spread in the last 10 games. They should be motivated coming off the beatdown. They lost that game to the Knicks by almost 30. But it's the first leg of a back-to-back. They do got Boston tomorrow, and they played in 3 straight overs. However, when they're on the road, this Bucks offense has not been good. They're 7-3 to the under, and they typically can't score the basketball in that spot. Then you start to look at Chicago, and this team has been absolutely atrocious. 1-9 against the spread in their last 10 games. They've lost, I don't know how many they've lost in a row, at least 10 in a row. 3 straight unders. The last game, but 6-game homestand. So the Bucks have played all of their games recently on the at home, and the Bulls have played all of their games recently at home. So the Bucks have played how many games? Is it 1, 2, 3, 4? 4 straight games at home, and they 3-1 to the over in those games. 4-1 if you include the game against the Pelicans that was on the road before that. So the Bucks offense has been able to score, but not on the road. On the road, not so much. The only road game that they played recently was against the Pelicans, and that one did go over the total. And then you start to look at Chicago. Chicago is actually starting to play unders. Their offense stinks. 3 straight unders for them. And they just haven't been able to score the basketball as much. They're still playing fast, even though the pace has slowed down a little bit. They've gone under in 3 straight. 4 of their last 5 have gone under the number. The only one that went over was a Pistons game at 234.5. This is one, though, I just kind of feel like you take over. Like, Milwaukee has won both games, so you do got the Bulls in double revenge spot. I kind of think it's going to be points in this game, man. So a couple things. One, Chicago games have been going under recently, but they've all been against good defenses, right? They played the Trailblazers. Trailblazers defense is solid. It's not great, but it's solid. The Hornets defense is top 10 over the last 10 games. The Knicks defense is top 10. The Pistons defense is top 10, and they still got over the total on that one. Milwaukee's defense last 5 games is actually bottom 5 after the All-Star break. So, yes, they've been able to score, but defensively, I kind of feel like we see Chicago's best fastball in this game. I think this is the one, last of a 6-game road trip. They got to bring it in this spot. Milwaukee's offense, since the All-Star break, has actually been the best in the league. They're number 1 in offensive rating over their last 5 games. I think they played 5 games since the All-Star break. Number 1 in offensive rating in those 5 games. So, I kind of like this one over. The total is moving up, and I agree with the movement there. I think Chicago can contribute in this spot. I know that they're missing some pieces, but I think that they're able to score and help out the total in this spot. So I like this one over the number. I think the Bulls, I don't know, man. I can't catch the falling knife with the Bulls. They've been an Achilles for me for a while now, but I do think that they'll be able to score. They're the worst offensive rated team in the last 5 games in the NBA. So you got the number 1 offense over the last. I'm sorry, number 4 offense in the Bucks versus the worst offense in the NBA. I just can't lay points with the Bucks on the road in this spot. Not for my money, man. I think Chicago might even be live to win the game. We shall see, though. We shall see. Let's see what you guys are thinking here, and I'll go through the rest of the games real quick. Boston game 7-7 we'll talk about it. Smoke says Bulls in tank mode. Chicago no bet. Giddey triple-double. If he gets the minutes, he can definitely get it. Just not sure if he's still restricted. Yeah, I didn't look at Giddey props in this one. That's such a big slate, man. I didn't look at Giddey props. I kind of feel like they're live, though. Let me look at something real quick. All right. So teams that have teams that's lost 10 straight games, they're a home dog and getting less than 3. Yeah. Yeah, it says Bulls. Bulls today, man. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to bet it though. So I'll show you guys this real quick. Just so you can see it, get a visual. So this is the Bulls. This is not the Bulls, actually. It's actually this is system, right? So teams that have won 0 of their last 10 games is right here. you're a home dog and you're getting less than 3, right? So the line is short, and looks like it's short for a reason. Look at these wins: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 16 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 16 and 5 in the last 21 times. And this, you can see, you can go back. I typically like to go post-COVID. So we do post-COVID. These teams are 56% ATS. Says the Bulls today. The Chicago Bulls get the cover today. We shall see. It's also over, 55% on the over. And this season, 13 and 4 ATS, 76% this season. And the over is 58% as well, 59%, 10 and 7 to the over. So yeah, I think over. Just worry about the Bucks. Full season numbers not being good as road favorites, but their offense has been good recently. So I think we see over. I think the Bulls may be able to get the job done today, just based on psychology of the line. Sometimes it really is just psychology of the line. All right, that's enough on that. I gotta get ready to get out of here. Let's go through the other ones real quick. So what else we got here? Bulls have lost 11 straight games. Saturated says, okay, my fault, 11. Saturated says this is the tax us Bulls fans from the 90s we have to pay. Yeah, Jordan is not coming to save y'all. What up, for real? Appreciate you for tapping in. Buzelis over his points for smoked. Up says Bull spot. It kind of feels like a Bull spot now. KBJ over his assists has been a wagon. Yeah, he's been cooking, man. Dude look like a first ballot Hall of Famer as of late. 77 figures says Giannis halfway to Cancun. They just need to come out and make the announcement. Shut him down. Yeah, he probably done. Sosa says, just being a Bulls fan, watching them, any team that can score, gonna blow them out. Yeah. Here's the thing though, Sosa, because I thought about that too, right? I'm like, man, it seems so easy to just lay the points with the Bucks in the spot, especially because their offense has been so good. Their offense has been good everywhere. They're shooting the 3 well, 3rd in 3-point accuracy last 5 games, post All-Star break, 8th and above the break 3, 5th in corner 3. The long mid-range is going in, mid-range is going in as well. Maybe it is that simple. Maybe just take the Bucks. I can't do it. Not based on the defense. The defense is 28th, which is 28th in opponent effective field goal percentage, 24th in opponent effective, 28th in points allowed per 100 possessions, and 24th in effective field goal percentage. They're also not forcing any turnovers. I think it kind of feels like a little bit of a bull spot today. I'm not betting it, but I do like the over. I think I'm gonna bet over in this game. Adam says, sorry I was late to the stream, but did you talk about the under in Atlanta game? They've been playing good defense. 10-point cushion to the under on the total. Nah, we're gonna talk about it in just a second though. Jordan cursed the Bulls. Yeah, all right. So let's go rapid fire through the other games real quick, and I will touch on that, Adam. I'll touch on that because I had it in my notes. So, all right. So we went over the first 4 games. I told you guys just a real quick recap. I like San Antonio didn't bet them. I like the Knicks didn't bet them yet. Is the line moving still? Back to San Antonio. Well, it's still a pick. I like first quarter over though. 58.5, 59.5, 58.5, I think is the number. So first quarter over in Knicks in that first game. Second game, Cleveland, Brooklyn like over, but waiting to see that James Harden news. Oh, it's going up to 222, 223.5. I'm missing the best of the number. God darn it. Nobody even told me. It was 222.5 when I told you guys I liked it. I didn't bet it because I wanted to wait on the Harden news. I thought he might get, and then we get a better number. But sucks. People that know me know I hate getting worse to the number. Them half points be coming in handy, especially as the season goes on. Let me just real quick. Let me just check the injury report, see if we got any updates. Nothing. It's just getting bet over, and I agree with the total going up. All right, cool. That's cool. Maybe I can find a 223 somewhere, 222.5 somewhere. All right. Milwaukee and Chicago is also starting to go up, 229.5 starting to pop. So there's a 228.5 on ESPN bet though. If I'm betting, I'm betting over. Maybe even first half over too. I think 117 is and a half is available. Minnesota, Denver, I like under 240.5. Just let the total keep going up, and don't like that. I wouldn't be able to get the best of number with Denver, but I think I'm gonna stay off the side. All right, so let's go through the rest of them. So the next one is Memphis and Indiana. I have nothing in that game. Nothing at all. I do see that Indiana's a 1-point favorite. They have Siakam doubtful, Nembhard listed as doubtful, unlikely to play. Ty Jerome is doubtful. Cedric Coward is doubtful. Santi Aldama is doubtful. Am I playing the game? Doubtful. I do have a system on Indiana plus the 1.5, but I can't play it. I can't play Indiana right now. No thoughts on the total either. I think first quarter over makes a ton of sense. Total has moved up. I was looking at the Pacers. Their offensive efficiency has been really good. They're one of the worst defensive teams in the NBA. I think I told you guys the last time I did a show that the Pacers are the new Wizards. They are, they're the worst defensive rated team. Well, third worst defensive rated team, but first in pace. And that, remember, if you think about the Wizards over the last few seasons, that's what the Wizards have been. One of the bottom 3 defenses and one of the top 3 pace. And that's how you get yourself to an over. So Memphis to be able to score the basketball, it's not like their offense is good. They're 19th in offensive rating post All-Star break, but they are third in pace as well. So first quarter, I think first quarter, probably a high number, but it's probably high for a reason. I'll probably look at first quarter. Let's see. All right, so that's that game. Next one is actually a couple of games I still haven't even really looked into. Philly Boston, I don't have anything on. I do know that the line's getting in favor of Boston, but I didn't look too deeply into the game. It's 9.5 now. Philly, I did see that Embiid's gonna miss a couple games. I saw Shireman listed as questionable. Boston's been smoking everybody outside of that Denver game where they were playing fourth and 6 last of a 5-game road trip, I think it was. So total's coming down, maybe an over. I feel like total's a tad bit too low. Boston is playing really good defense. Philly can give it up. If they're not scoring, they can really give it up. So don't really know if I want to lay 9.5 with Boston either, though. It's a lot of points. Detroit and Orlando, line open 6 has come down to 5. I kind of agree with it. I don't like Orlando, but they've been playing a little bit better defense as of late. I was looking through that one. It's not a great spot for Detroit just because they haven't been covering. They're like 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games. They played, I think, the strongest strength of schedule in their last 5 games. They had games against OKC, San Antonio, Cleveland. They got Cleveland on deck coming up. So as ugly as it is, I don't like Orlando. I feel like they're not that good, in my opinion. But they have been battling tooth and nail in their last few games. So I guess I'll take the points with Detroit and that's with Orlando in that spot if I was betting it. Don't think that I will, though. Then the next one was Portland and Atlanta. So Adam was talking about this one in the chat. So the reason why I didn't bet it was because of the injury report. Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Jalen Johnson both listed as questionable. This total is 236.5, and if either one of them get ruled in, I think that it continues to go up. It opened 238.5. I watched the Portland and Cleveland game Charlotte game yesterday. Portland's offense is so terrible without Denny Avdija. You need to know if he's going to play or not, and I didn't see like any kind of course, Portland's playing second leg of back-to-back, so they can be pretty discreet with their injury report and submit it late. But if Denny's ruled out, especially if Jalen Johnson or Nickeil Alexander-Walker ruled out, this total should plummet because the second leg of back-to-back for Portland, 3rd and 4 and 4th and 6. And like I said, I just watched Charlotte absolutely I almost fell asleep trying to watch Portland score the basketball yesterday. Atlanta, for your point, Adam, as good as Atlanta's defense has been playing, they have played the easiest strength of schedule. That was something I looked into. Like if you go through and look at Atlanta last 5 games, they have been against the absolute cupcakes of the NBA. Remember, 2 of them was back-to-back against the Wizards. They held the Wizards to 96 and 98. Before that, they played the Nets, right? I'm talking about these snooze fest games. Held the Nets to 104. The last offense they played was against the Miami Heat. This was right after the All-Star break. On their second leg of back-to-back, they gave it 128. They did hold the Sixers to 107. So you could say they've held, 5 of their last 6 opponents under their team total. I really do see Portland struggling to score the basketball. They still been playing, relatively fast, but I don't think they're going to be able to score. And I know that the Atlanta Hawks are 7-3 to the under in their last 10 games, 6 straight unders for the Hawks. I think this total is a tad bit too high. So I do agree with it. It's just that their offense has been, they've been playing against some pretty easy competition. So I wrote my notes based on Portland's 25th rated offense last 5 games. Atlanta's number 1 defensive rating last 5 games. I wrote under, but it's just a lean for right now. So we shall see in that one. OKC Dallas. I had a system on Dallas plus the 15.5. Jackson likes the Dallas plus 15.5 as well. And then a system on the over. Road favorites laying double digits with a total that's above 230. 58% to the over trend based on the database, 59% this season. So that's something that's been profitable. I would love to have PJ Washington and Najee Marshall ruled in, though, especially with Cooper Flag already ruled out. So I didn't bet that game. New Orleans and the Clippers, interesting game. I do think that the line has moved in the right direction. Of course, Zion got hurt last night, for people who don't know, which is why this line moved from 7. It's up to 9. I saw it all the way up to 9.5 on a couple books as well. Pelicans playing second leg of back-to-back. They could potentially get DeJounte Murray back, who didn't play last night. I think it was just injury conditioning, like injury management. So they felt like they didn't need him, and they didn't. They blasted Jazz last night. But coming out of altitude, going against the Clippers, historically, the Clippers have played pretty bad against the Pelicans. But that's, of course, with Zion. I would expect Zion not to play in this game. Kawhi is in. John Collins is listed as questionable. I got a couple trends on the over. Actually, one trend on the over, and then I got a strong trend on the Clippers. A couple strong trends on the Clippers in this spot. And one of them is just fading teams, playing fourth leg and 6 nights, coming off a win, and that they're a road dog. So I guess Clippers are the right side. Don't really know if I want to lay 9 with them. Would have liked to get to that early 7, but I missed the best of the number. The total has continued to come down, and I guess I kind of agree with that. The Pelicans have been playing a little bit better basketball as of late, but I kind of also feel like they've been playing an easy strength of schedule as well. Let me just look at New Orleans strength of schedule. Yeah, 27th in strength of schedule. So they played the 4th easiest strength of schedule over their last 5 games, but they are 9th in offensive rating, the 16th in defensive rating. I kind of like this Clipper team, but I like the Clippers. I like this Clipper team when they're getting points. I don't really want them as favorites. They're 9th in offensive rating the last 5 games. I'm sorry, 24th in offensive rating, but 10th in defensive rating. They played the 5th strongest strength of schedule and playing at the 10th slowest pace over their last 5 games. So pace has picked up a little bit because on the season they are 3rd slowest pace team. I don't know. Maybe just some Benedict Mathurin props if I'm looking at that spot. And then the last one on the board, and I'll go through the comments and do a quick recap and get out of here, is the Clippers and the Lakers. So this line 13 in favor of the Lakers. Jackson told you guys it likes the under. Likes the points with the Sacramento Kings. The Lakers, of course, have yet to submit their injury report, but on the Sacramento side of things, no DeAndre Hunter, no Keegan Murray, no Sabonis, no Zach LaVine, and Caldwell is also listed as out. So a couple things that was active for me on the over. I looked at unrested teams laying double digits against opponents that do have rest since 2020. That's been a pretty strong trend. Matter of fact, let me just give you guys the number real quick. So that trend is 68% to the over, 70% this season, 73 to the over this season, 55, 26, and 1 to the over. So Lakers Kings over. If I get involved, that's probably the way that I'm going to play it as well. And had another one too. It was since last season, favorites who are unrested laying double digits. So kind of similar. Favorites who are unrested laying double digits are 64% to the over since last season. This season, 65%, 11-6 to the over this season. So these are pretty strong trends on the over. Lakers should be able to score the basketball. You just worry if the Kings going to be able to keep up, but the Lakers also haven't been playing a lot of defense. So I think I like over in that spot. Lakers are, I think, coming off like they beat the Warriors last night, but they lost the last time that these two teams played. I'm pretty sure they lost that game to the Kings the last time that they played. Let me just check real quick. Yeah, the Kings smoked them, beat them 124-112, and they were getting 9.5 points as the dog in that spot. So I wouldn't lay points with the Lakers. I do think that the Kings could, keep it within the number. The Lakers they will have to show me that they can blow somebody out, and they haven't been able to do that recently. Also, Bron hasn't played a lot on the second leg of back-to-back games, so we won't even know if he's going to play. We'll see how that goes. Let's see. Kings are both games so far. Well, the first one went under. Well, so they played 3 times so far. Lakers 2-1 to the over so far. The Kings have actually covered 3 of their last 4 games. They're 7-3 to the over. They've actually gone over in 4 straight games. And the Lakers last night was the first over that they had, but they've actually been playing some really good defenses, right? We know that the Lakers struggle when they play good defenses. They played the Clippers. They go over in that game, but then they score 89 to Boston, 109 to Orlando, both unders, 110 to Phoenix, another under. And then they play the Warriors, who just shoot a bunch of threes and hope that they go in, and they scored 129 last night. Lakers got the Pelicans on deck on Tuesday. So yeah, I think over is the right play in that game. We'll go through the comments real quick and then I'm gonna get out of here. Let's see. What are you guys thinking? Jared Allen double. No way I could talk you off of that. Adams to Spurs -1. My only bet so far. -106 on FanDuel. Spurs are rolling. What up, Fred? Says what's good, my G. Keep them coming. What about Indiana first quarter +3.5? They've been good, Fred. If you want the Pacers, you typically want them first quarter. I don't want to touch them first quarter without Nembhard and without because I don't think Nembhard's going to play. I also don't think Siakam's going to play. So don't let me talk you off. But yeah, they've been really good in the first quarter. I think they just covered the first quarter against like a really good team. I can't remember who it was. Double says I'm late, bro. But is the Timberwolves a good look or stay out of the way? I don't think I'm gonna play the side, but if I had to play the side, I kind of feel like if Julius Randle was ruled in, I might get there. Like I'll let the line, maybe it touches 4, and then you get some Timberwolves +4. I think that's the way I would look at it. I just kind of feel like the Timberwolves are in shambles right now. They're 2-8 against the spread in their last 10 games. I don't really want to touch them. Let's say Francis, I got a tip saying over 233 OKC versus Dallas. What you think? If Najee Marshall is ruled in, right? You need Najee Marshall to be ruled in. He's questionable. And then PJ Washington also listed as doubtful. Like, I don't really like it as much. If they don't have either one of those guys. Sosa says, yeah, I think Detroit gassed and late in the game, but they made mental mistakes, a lot of mental mistakes for sure. Adam says, system play Kate over 27.5 points versus the Magic. Almost every guard has gone over their points versus the Magic. Yeah, because they play single coverage, so that makes sense. What's up, Jay Stone? Appreciate you for tapping in. Sosa says, Clippers need this win. They do, but do they need to win by 10? Smoke says, Clippers low-key dipping. Russ under. You like Boston at halftime, Mike says. Boston first half has been a wagon. They've been cooking in the first half. But I don't know. That's the one game I really feel like I got more work to do. If it's 2 games I got more work to do on that are good games, it's Philly and Boston, and it's Detroit and Orlando. Those are the 2 games that I just kind of like, just based on what I know, like looking at some quick numbers, not really diving too deep. Those are the 2 games I need to look a little bit more into. Adam says, my Charlotte to make the playoff ticket is looking real nice. It absolutely is. Absolutely. Yeah. I did not expect this from Charlotte. I'm watching Charlotte yesterday. Like, bro, you really gotta put some respect on Charlotte. Like they were laying. I'm like, bro, I'm not laying 7.5 with them against Portland. Portland will keep this game close. And I watched the whole game from start to finish. They jump out on them early, and then they allow them to come back at the beginning of the second quarter. They cut it to single digits. They get another big lead. Brandon Miller, like, man, teams that can shoot threes against Donovan Clingan is absolutely bad for Portland because they just put Donovan Clingan in so many pick and rolls. Brandon Miller hit like 5 threes just because Clingan wouldn't come up, step up on the 3, and they was cashing them, man. And their defense is solid, and they're a really good rebounding team. So if you're a team that relies heavily on rebounds, like good luck against Charlotte because they're not giving them up. They're a really good rebounding team, very very sound team. I like Charlotte. I like them a lot. I'm thinking about going to Charlotte for spring break, taking my son to see LaMelo against the Pistons at that. I think that game is actually on his birthday, so we'll see. We were looking at tickets for that yesterday. What up, dude? Appreciate you for tapping in. Smokes says Fade Aiden. Timberwolves just been struggling on this road trip. Feels like they're ready to go home, and that's a fact. I agree with that as well. Jalen Johnson double can never talk you off of that, especially against Portland. I think that could be a good look. Magic +5.5. Desmond Bane over his points. Charlotte is rolling. They absolutely are, man. And they're fun to watch. I agree with this by Sosa. Super fun to watch. They share the ball, shoot a bunch of threes, like playing super unselfish. Shout out to Coach Charles Lee, man. I like Coach Charles Lee a lot. Play defense, shoot threes. That's today's NBA. Very youthful team. I saw the quote came out from Kobe White says, he's 26 and he's like a vet on the team. So super youthful team. They probably all, they doing the job, though. They getting the job done, which is the important thing. Up 1 says Paulo rebounds and assists over. Okay. Detroit's a really good rebounding team, though. I don't know about that one. And when does Isaiah Stewart come back? I feel like his 7-game suspension got to be in this soon. Is his name on the injury report for today? See, that's what I was saying. Like, I still got more work to do in that game. Yeah, he's still out. So maybe this is game number 6. I'm not sure. Adam says Jalen Johnson double minus 240. So no, I don't like it unless it's a parlay piece. Just my thoughts. Yeah, it's a fact. Yeah, I'm not parlaying anything together today. But if it was a day to parlay, it might be today, man. It definitely might be today. I got to get there with a couple of these looks, and the game's actually starting in about 30 minutes. I'm about to go get a workout in real quick. Well, about 35, 40 minutes. About to go get a workout in real quick and grab me some food so I can be ready for the games when they start. All right, so let's go back and look at these numbers real quick. So this is what I had on the short list before I started the show. I like the San Antonio and New York first quarter over. I think that's a very sneaky look. The Cleveland and Brooklyn, I'm not sure if I can get it to 20 to 2.5 anymore. You guys see it on the short list here. This is before the show started. Like I said, I was trying to wait on the hard news. Maybe it don't even matter. Maybe Brooklyn defense so bad it don't even matter. Cleveland actually not playing that much defense either. They only played defense in Detroit in their last game, but their defense has been pretty selective. 222.5 available on Caesars, it looks like. Let's see if Caesars still got it available. That Knicks money coming in strong, boy, moving that line down. Knickerbockers today. The total's going up to 228.5, I see as well. That first quarter might have moved a little bit also. Yeah, I'm playing now because the market that moved it up, I'm moving with the market. Yeah, let's change this to green. I need to send these out to the members as well. Yeah, in my opinion, if Cleveland Brooklyn has moved from 222.5 to 223.5, somebody know that James Harden probably playing, in my opinion, or some of the other players are playing. So I am gonna go ahead and bet this one, make that official. Give me Cleveland and Brooklyn over the 222.5. All right, so I just bet that one. All right, what else was on the list? Milwaukee, Chicago. So I would just want to make sure I share the reason why I put first half here. So 117.5, the line is shaded to the over for in the first half, right? The full game total is 229, right? So the books are expecting a lot of points early, and then the game slow down. And I kind of agree based on the spread being small, based on this being a divisional game between these two teams. I think that this could be a game the first half goes over, and then you see the pace slow down a little bit. I do feel like Chicago will come out guns blazing. I kind of want to take Chicago first quarter. I think if they have a chance, it'll be early in this game. And what has Milwaukee been doing to warrant you to lay points with them on the road? Now, Chicago's been trash. I get it. But, like, last game of a 6-game homestand, Milwaukee hasn't been good covering points as favorites on the road. Both teams, well, Milwaukee playing really good offense and no defense. So I think I might get there with first half. First half over the 117.5. I like that. I think a little bit more than full game. And if the first half doesn't cash, maybe I play it live, see if I can get my money back. Let's see. Damn, that's gone too. It's 118. Man. All right, so 118 now is available on Bet365. Hate getting the worst of the number, man. Probably should have just bet it. Minnesota, Denver, under 240.5. We'll see. We shall see. Let me see if that line moved. Yeah. 241 on Fanatics. Can get access to that though. Bat Rivers got a 242.5 at minus 122. I kind of think it just goes under. We'll see what happens with Julius Randle. Portland, Atlanta, waiting on the injury report, but under 230. It looks like 237.5 is available on DraftKings. With that line going up, maybe Jalen Johnson is rolled in. I don't want the under if Jalen Johnson is rolled in. Maybe a wait and see if it touches like 239, 240, then maybe a potential under. Also kind of feel like Detroit and Orlando goes over as well. But like I said, I got a little bit more work to do on that game. And then last but not least, the Clippers, we talked about them minus the 8.5. And then I gave you guys the numbers on the Lakers and the Kings as well. And that's something that I probably will be betting. Looks like 232.5 is available on DraftKings for that last total as well. So those are my thoughts, man. Those are my thoughts. Shadow says, Stewart can come back on the 3rd for the Cleveland game. Okay, that'll be his first game back when they play on Tuesday. Okay. Then they got the Spurs on Friday. I did see that. Monte says Pacers money line. Okay. Smoke says under Memphis versus Pacers. Total just bet it. 230. I see a 238.5 on BetMGM. I don't want nothing to do with that total. I wish you the best of luck, man. Adam says Terrence Mann, 2 threes. Joker, 3 threes. K, 30 points. KPJ, 8 assists, 4-leg parlay. Good money. That seems like a hell of a plus money parlay. I hope you guys catch whatever it is that you play, man. It's a big slate. Gave you guys what I like. The 2 bets that I'm official on are right here. You guys see them. Check the resources out. They're all listed in the description of the videos. They always are. Jackson, Outloud, Moneyballer, Ajam. The NBA is doing this, this jankiness, where it's jankiness in my opinion, where like you see a ton of teams playing like a ton of games on one day. Like today, it's 12 games. Tomorrow's only 4. It's 5 games. Tuesday is back to being like 10 games. And I hate that. I hate when it's 12 games, then 5 games, then 10 games. So I'll have a video out tomorrow. Probably won't go live in the morning, but I'll have a video out tomorrow talking about the 5 games that we have for tomorrow. I wish you guys the best on whatever it is that you're betting, man. I'll catch you guys in the next one, man. I'm out.